Hey, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading chapter 6, What to Do. Okay, so Jake Drake wants to do the contest, wants to do the science fair, but he has to go up against two know-it-alls. They always answer everything, and they work really hard because they want to be the best. And then he also said that his dad is a know-it-all, do-it-all, and he thinks his dad is going to try and take over his project, and he doesn't want that. So in chapter 6, What to Do, it sounds like he's coming up with a plan. After dessert, I took the science fair booklet to my room. It had some ideas about choosing what to do. The rule said I had to use the scientific method, which works like this. First, you look around the world and see something interesting. That's called observation. After you look around, you ask a question about something. That part's called the question, which makes sense. Then you make a guess about the answer. When you do a science fair project, your guess is called a hypothesis, but it's still a guess. Then you plan out some trials to test and see if your guess is right or wrong. That part is called the method. Then you do your testing and you write down what you find out. That's called the result. And then you have to tell if your guess was right or wrong. That's called the conclusion. But I was stuck way back at the beginning. I was having trouble with the question part. So I kept reading, and the science fair booklet said, try filling in these blanks to make a question you want to explore. What is the effect of blank on blank? And then it gave 2 examples. What is the effect of dishwasher soap on grass seedlings? What is the effect of total darkness on how much gerbils sleep? So I tried filling in some words of my own. What is the effect of sawdust on the taste of a vanilla milkshake? Ew. What is the effect of a dead cockroach on Abby's pillow at bedtime? What is the effect of a red hot pepper on Willie's peanut butter sandwich? This makes me think Jake's not really taking it very seriously. He's thinking of all these silly questions. I liked my questions. And after you ask a question, you have to make a guess. So I gave that a try too. Sawdust would make a vanilla milkshake taste like plywood. A dead cockroach on Abby's pillow at bedtime would cause loud screams and a lot of yelling and make me be grounded with no TV or computer games for 3 weeks. And a red hot pepper on Willie's peanut butter sandwich would make Willie jump up from his chair, drink 6 cartons of chocolate milk, and then throw up all over the cafeteria. Pretty good guesses, but I had to stop messing around. So I lay on my bed and looked at the ceiling. My ceiling has all these swirls and ridges. It's like looking at clouds. Sometimes I can see all kinds of stuff up there, but that night I didn't see anything, just a big white blank. Deciding what to do for a science fair is hard. It's hard because what you really have to do is choose what not to do. Because you could do anything. You could do millions of different things, except you can only do one thing. So after you choose all the stuff not to do, then you look at what's left over. And that's what you do. I got up and went over to my dresser and opened the top drawer. It's my junk drawer. That's what my mom calls it because it all looks like junk to her. And then I got an idea. Maybe I could find an idea by looking at all of my junk, all of it. So I grabbed my notebook from my backpack. I opened it to an empty page. I found a pencil. Then I looked into my junk drawer and I started making a list. 7 paper clips, 3 big paper clips, 9 old batteries, 1 twisty pencil sharpener, 1 orange golf ball, 1 toenail clippers, 2 wooden yo-yos, 1 plastic yo-yo with no string, 13 rubber bands, 4 Hot Wheels, 18 baseball cards, 6 of Willie's basketball cards, 3 pens, 29 colored pencils, 7 keys that I don't know what they fit, 17 crayons, 9 marbles, 1 plastic magnifying glass, 2 mini super balls, half a pair of dice, 1 piece of chain from a broken lamp, 1 little lock, no key, 1 red magnet shaped like a horseshoe, 1 broken glow-in-the-dark watch, 1 mini frisbee, 37 pennies, 1 empty Altoids tin with 1 Canadian quarter, 1 roll of thin wire, 1 red stamp pad, 1 fingernail file, one plastic ruler, one Mickey Mouse Pez holder, one pink eraser, one white eraser, one fishing bobber, one piece of radio antenna, one cracked candy cane, 6 pen caps, one film container with 43 blue beads, 2 computer disks, 3 mini screwdrivers, 1 mini stapler, 2 broken snail shell, 1 plastic ring from a gumball machine, 3 red plastic push pins, 1 flashlight, doesn't work, 4 short pencils, no erasers, 1 roll of scotch tape. Man, that is a big junk drawer. I don't know how he's going to think of a science project from that. Oh, there's more. Goodness. 3 butterscotch lifesavers, 1 chain dog collar, 3 rusty bolts, 1 plastic bottle of white glue, 1 hacky sack with a hole, blue beads leaking out, 3 gray stones, 2 pieces of green glass from the beach, 1 pair of scissors with orange handles, 1 mini Etch-a-Sketch on a keyring, 1 eye off my old toy cat Fluffy, 4 Star Wars action figures, 1 broken camera, 3 suction cups off of Garfield's paws, 1 small brown glass bottle, 1 shoelace, 3 little seashells from Florida, 1 round mirror for Mom's makeup, 1 plastic bubble wand, 2 root beer bottle caps, 1 big nail, 4 ribbons I won at YMCA camp, 3 small nails, all rusty, 1 old toothbrush, ew, 1 calculator, 1 little roll of white string, 1 plastic harmonica, 1 short measuring tape, 1 jingle bell off my Christmas stocking, 1 sand timer from a game, 1 cork, 1 wire keyring, 1 pair of pliers. A lot of this stuff sounds like stuff that should have gone in the trash. And then I stopped. There was still more stuff, but I was so tired of writing. Plus, I didn't want to use another piece of paper. Plus, I felt like I was just wasting time. I was almost ready to go and ask my dad for help. That would be dangerous because of that KIA thing. That might be bad, but it would be better than never finding an idea at all. But as I stared at all that stuff, I remembered something. I remembered how I read in this kid's magazine about magnets, about how you can wrap wire around something made of iron. Then if you run electricity through the wire, it makes a magnet. I pushed a bunch of things out of the way until I found the big nail. It was about 4 inches long. Then I found the roll of thin wire. Starting at the head of the nail, I began winding wire around and around onto the nail. There wasn't that much wire. Still, I put about 30 turns in the nail before it ran out. Then I grabbed the toenail clippers. I peeled some of the plastic cover off one end of the wire. Then I found the other end of the wire. I peeled some plastic off that end too. Now I needed power. I reached into the drawer and pulled out a big fat flashlight battery. I pressed one end of the wire to the top and the other end on the bottom of the battery. Then I put the end of the nail near the small paper clip. And nothing. Zero. Zilch. Sounds like he's trying to make a circuit. I threw the nail and wire and the battery into the drawer and started to shut it. Then I thought, hey, you idiot. It's probably a dead battery. Try again. I poked around in the drawer until I found one of those small, boxy batteries. It's like the kind from a walkie-talkie. I hooked it in one end of wire to each little button on the battery. I moved the nail next to the paper clip and zip! It jumped right onto the nail. And so did the 3 other paper clips. And so did a bottle cap. And so did a fingernail file. Oh, Miss Pfeiffer is wrong. If he hooked it up, the wire to the button on the battery, and moved the nail next to the paper clip, and the paper clip jumped onto the nail. It wasn't a current. Or a circuit. Think about when 2 things attract to each other. It sounds like maybe he made a magnet. Because the paper clip, a bottle cap, and a fingernail file. So then I looked at this wire and battery and nail. And I looked at some other stuff dangling from the nail. And I said to myself, okay, but does this help me with the science fair? This is just stupid stuff from my junk drawer. I looked at the science fair booklet again, at the question part where it said, what is the effect of blank on blank? So I asked myself, what is the effect of more batteries on the power of the magnet? And then I asked myself, What is the effect of more wire on the power of the magnet? And then I thought, what makes more difference? More wire or more batteries? Ooh, I think he's actually got something. And the great part was, I really wanted to know the answer. You know how sometimes you can just see something in your head, just see it like it was all right there? That's how it was. I could see this big poster telling all about my idea, and another one telling how I tested my idea and what results I got. Then I could see these big super magnets I made. They were all hooked up to batteries humming like lights at the school, and my magnets were lifting up these heavy chunks of metal. I could see myself at the science fair. I could see the judges listening to me explain everything. They were smiling. I could see Kevin and Marcia. They were not smiling. And I could see me sitting in my room. I was playing Z Squadron Strike Force on my new Blantinium 12 computer. It was so simple. All I had to do was make those things happen in real life. That's all. He says that's all, like it's going to be easy, but I'm not sure if it's going to be that easy. All right, so that was chapter 6. So now today you're going to go back to the slides you've been working on. Slide 14 tells you what to do today. We read chapter 6, and you need to do serious science. So in the beginning of chapter 6, Jake is struggling to come up with a question for the science fair project. Put yourself in Jake's shoes and try to come up with 2 questions that are science fair worthy. So like how he did with the magnets. What is the effect of more wire on a magnet? What is the effect of more batteries on a magnet? So you come up with 2 of your own questions. Just try your best. And then junk. Jake had tons of junk in his drawer. You need to pick 10 things out to type here. And then Jake finds a question. What makes more difference, more wire or more batteries, on the power of the magnet? Sequence Jake's actions that led to the discovery of his questions. The first 2 are done for you. So sequence means what happens first, next, and last. So first, Jake recalls a magazine article about magnets. Second, Jake finds a nail and wraps wire around it. Then what's he do after he wraps the wire around the nail? So I'm going to go back. Okay, so right here on page 43 says, then I found a roll of thin wire. Starting at the head of the nail, I began winding wire around and around onto the nail. There wasn't that much wire. Still, I put about 30 turns on the nail before it ran out. Then I grabbed the toenail clippers. So now I will go back to my slide number 3. Then I grabbed the toenail clippers. And then I'm going to come back to my text. And then I peeled off some plastic cover off one end of the wire. So then I found toenail clippers. Number 4, peeled off plastic on both ends of the wire. Now I needed power. I reached in the drawer and pulled out a big fat battery. So then I would talk about how we put out a battery. And then we remember that battery didn't work. What do you do after that battery didn't work? Then what do you do when the battery did work? So you're writing all the events that happened for him to come up with his question. 10 events. This is 10 things from his junk drawer. And these are 2 questions that you have. What is the effect of blank on blank? Just like Jake did, what is the effect of more wire on a magnet or more batteries on a magnet? I hope y'all have a great day.